Welcome all, Boone here from EWPRO. First of all, I've got to say that I can't use my pen because every time I use the pen, the screen goes blank. So I've got a bit of trouble with that, but we'll get through it. The second thing is last week, someone left a comment and that comment was accidentally deleted. But they wanted to see what the FTSE 100 index was looking like. So I'll do a quick rundown on that. So on the weekly, we got WXYXZ. We have on the MACD, we have bearish hidden. So I dare say this is going to go down and break this low. That's what I'll be looking for. So look for your shorts. On the daily, we have bearish divergence. We have that bearish divergence in here. So definitely want to start looking for those shorts. We've got to cross down here on the MACD too. We haven't broken the trend line or anything on this time frame, but yeah, we've got to cross down. So on the H4, this should be a really good short actually, because it can go down and break that low on the weekly. So you definitely want to be looking for the short. On the H4, we have trend line. With divergence, with bearish divergence. So we got a B, C up in here, and we're falling out, broken that trend line. There was a little flag. This would have been the ideal place to take this. You got a nice flag here, nice little correction. You're going to have to wait for a flag now. There is no self set up on it at the moment, but even if price comes down further and breaks this low, which will be ideal, then wait for your correction, trend line break, and however you take your setups, whatever, just look for short setups. At this stage, we really want to see this bottom here broken. So we want to break down here and then give the correction, and then you can definitely look for that short. Look for your trend line, you know, your first target, any bounce around the trend line, the daily trend line. You may get a bounce up, but we do have that bearish divergence on the daily. So yeah, if you get a flag in here, even if it doesn't break this low, ideally it goes and breaks this low, then gives you a larger correction, like a H4 correction, and then you want to jump in that like down and just see what it does around this trend line. If it gives ideally it will break through this trend line, give it even larger correction, and then go and break the low. On the H1, there really, like I said, there really isn't a setup that I would take. There is no self setup on the H1, so you have to wait for it. But yeah, definitely good trade. Thanks for bringing it up. And yeah, hope some of you get a few pips out of it. So back to the usual show, I'll go to DXY. On the daily, we have those 5 down. Like I've been saying for ages, we're waiting for this to at least give us this A, B, C in here. Like this will be larger. This will be something a little bit larger. If it's going to be an A, B, C, or if it's going to go up and break this top. Because on the weekly, we have an A, B, and a C down. This is a C down with bullish divergence on the weekly. So this can potentially go and break this top. Now, is it going to do it from here? Or is it just going to give us an A, B, C, and then give us more downside? We don't really know. But all we do know is that we got bullish divergence and we're nearly getting a trend line break here. So if we go down to the H4, we got those 5 down, like I've been saying, on the H4. But this is looking a little bit choppy. Trying to zoom in the chart. So this is looking a little bit choppy. It didn't quite break the top on this one. We got a flat in here, a little flat. And I was actually looking for this to go and break the top, but it hasn't broken that top yet. We've got a little A, B, C. I expect a little bit more upside, but we are at this trend line, and we do have an A, B, C, because the C wave just broke above the wave A, and that's all it has to do. So it can fall over here and give us more downside. So you have to watch this. If you get a bullish setup on the H1, good idea to take it, I think. Just to go and break this top and then get it to break even, you know. And it might be the start of the breakout, you know. It's pretty choppy, and it's given a larger correction in here, and this is looking ugly. But you are getting a little trend line here, oh, not a trend line, but a flag, sorry. Well, a correction. You're getting a correction, which really isn't good to get a correction here, because we do have that A, B, C. So it is going to be a little bit risky. It may not go, may not be ready yet, but eventually on the daily, even if the price does come down and break this low, eventually we're going to get a nice A, B, C, at least an A, B, C up to the 50 Fib. Ideally, it goes up and breaks this top, and you know, you definitely don't want to miss that if it's going to go up and break the top on the daily, but that's long term, you know, that's going to take all year to get there. So that's the XY. AU, we got those three up on AU, and we see where the we got this A, B, C. We got the bearish divergence. We haven't got a trend. We're still within the uptrend. We haven't got the trend line breaks yet. So if we go down to H4, we got an A, B, C up. We got bearish divergence in here, bearish divergence. But this is looking choppy. So you have to be really careful. It's not giving any bullish divergence yet either. So this could be quite choppy. This could go something like, you know, up here, then like down here, you know, just break that low, and then give more upside, give that bullish divergence, and then go and break the top. So it is a little bit risky at the moment to buy. On the daily, we got that bearish divergence. On the H4, we got the bearish divergence. So I'd be more, it's really difficult because it's looking corrective. So it's a risky trade, basically, unless you get a good setup. Have we got a setup on the AU? You're getting a correction in here on the H1. So you're getting this correction. Now it's already broken. I'll zoom in a bit. So we don't have any divergence yet, but we have bearish divergence between an A, B, C. This may turn into something more, a larger correction, but we don't. You definitely wouldn't want to be buying yet, because we don't have no bullish divergence, so there's no reason to be buying it. And we actually have bearish divergence on daily and H4, so very risky. You know, this isn't the time to be looking for your buy. If you're in the buy down the bottom on the daily, well, you can keep the buy, you know, but and add to it. But I wouldn't be going and buying this at this stage. This may give another one up here, breaking that top. Then we have a new trend line. You have to wait for the trend line break, and you know, however your entry system is, and look for the shorts. I think I won't be trading this for a while by the look of what's going on. EU, I'm in the short. Wrong chart. Here's EU, the NIDA one. So again, on the daily, we've got that bearish divergence still, like all the rest of them. We've got the trend line. We're still in this uptrend. We haven't broken the trend lines yet. So we're still in the uptrend. But we've got that bearish divergence on the daily, you know. It's very risky. We even got a cross down here on the MACD. So I'll be looking for the sells. I'm in a sell on this. But yeah, see, we sort of got, we'll probably get another one up here and then fall over. Just by looking at the pattern, because we sort of got, it may be over because we've got an A, B, C. Sorry. If you look at this, we've got an A, B, C, and then we've got that A, B, C, and it's broken above wave A, the wave C. It's sort of giving a bear flag here. So if you go down onto the lower time frame, we may get a sell on this one. We might get, you might be able to get an entry, but you will have to be careful because, like I said, this can be more upside as well to go and break the top, because this wave C here didn't break the top. So it's possible. What you'd want to do is, you know, we've got a trend line in here. We don't have any bearish divergence, so it's not ready. You can't sell it until you know, get a setup to sell. So really, unless you're already in it, you have to wait for a setup. GU, on the daily, we got the 5 up on this one. So we got a Z up on this one. Like I've been saying for ages, it's very choppy. We got the bearish divergence, still within the trend, the daily trend. So we still haven't broken out of the uptrend yet. But I think on this one, we really are getting close. Like I mentioned on the weekly outlook, the yearly outlook. This one, if you've missed it, we've got this triangle in here. It's very important, this triangle, because that's telling us we've got an A, B, C, and this will go and break that low. Whether it goes up, the C wave goes, and whether it's a running flat like it is now, and it goes down and breaks the low, or it could be an expanding flat. Keep on, you know, being real choppy up here, and slowly keep on going up, slowly keeping going up and break that top. It doesn't really matter. The larger impulse will be down to the downside to break this low, because we have this triangle in here. Very important. So on the daily, we got the bearish divergence 5 up. H4, we got the bearish divergence 5 up, but we're still in this. This sort of rising wedge here. Rising wedge in here. So you want to wait. This will be a good short, because we have all the bearish. Look at all the bearish divergence we have here. You know, you definitely don't want to be going long on this. I mean, you know, there is no setup for a long. We've got bearish divergence on daily H4. So if we go down to H1, there's no setup on it yet. I'd be waiting for this trend line break here, you know, and then a flag or something to sell. Wait for a setup to sell. So basically, I wouldn't really be looking for the longs. There is like a bull flag here if you kind of scout, you know, but very risky. I'd be waiting for, like, we've got a trend there. That's the wrong tool. But I'd be looking for the short. Wait for it to break out. Go and break these lows. Go and break these lows. Then give you the flag in here. And then look for the sell. Watch out for the trend line if you're going to get a bounce off this trend line. Right? This would be your first sort of target, or the 100 fib of this. A, B, C. You at least get an A, B, C. We should at least start to see in the next few weeks this breakout. Like, this could keep on going on and on and on for a long time. We've seen it before. You know, these can go on for a long time, but sooner or later, this is bearish, you know, a rising wedge. So eventually we're going to get that breakout, and this is what I'd be looking for. That breakout, flag or correction, and then look for the sell. We don't have anything at this stage. There's no sell on it, but definitely look for it. You may get a little bit more upside, but like I said, on the daily, on the weekly, sorry, you know, we still can go up. You know, there still is room to the upside if this isn't going to be a running flat, bearish running flat. So, you know, it can fall over at any time. Look for the sell. I haven't been trading this one. I used to love trading this pair, but it's just it's so choppy now. It's very difficult to trade. Wait for a nice setup, and then jump on it on the short. On the NU, we still got a little bit more room up to the 100 fib. We haven't broken the trend line like all of them, and this was giving a bullish setup during the week, but we got 5 up on the. We got bearish divergence on the daily and the H4. You know, so we got the bearish divergence. It's not giving the bearish setup. We got a breakout out of here, out of this trend line here. But then it's making a larger correction. So really, you know, you can't really look for the buy. If you're buying, it's only going to be a scalp. You want to be in and out, because this can fall over at any time. Better off to be looking for the shorts. On the H1, I don't really think there is a short on it. It's not too bad. If you start looking at this, we've got a flat in here. We've got an A, B, C in the B wave, A, B, C. This one hasn't quite broken the top. It's virtually a double top to the wave A. So if you do get, if I go down to M15, we may even be getting something here. Yeah, we've got bearish divergence on the M15. So, do we? Actually, I'll just go back to the H1 for a tick. No, we don't. Okay, so on the M15, we really want to. We're sort of getting this little correction in here. A, B, C, like a little flag. You could look to trade that with your stop here and look for, you know, at least a break of this, and you may get that reversal from here, you know. If not, if it just price comes down, breaks this low and then goes up and you don't get out, or you only get out at half at the low here, you know, it comes back and takes the second half out at break even, well, then you start looking for another, like this larger correction. This correction here may not be over, and we get another one up here to go and break that top, and then we should get that A, B, C down the trend line. See if you get that trend line break. UY, this one's gone. This one's nearly hit me target. If you follow me on TradingView, this one's gone. I'll put out this idea on the H4. I'll show you when we get to the H4. But we got this A, B. This is very choppy, so we're looking for this C up. This may be the start of the daily C up, like it shows here. It may go from here, or it may give you another lower low, and it can even come and break this low, because we do have that bear hidden, like I've been saying. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I put that idea out on TradingView right up here for the short to go and break this low. Well, it's nearly broken that low, you know, and it may, but we do have a cross here, so we've got the cross now. On the H4, this is the first target at the 100 fib. We do have a little bit of bearish divergence here, but there is no that bearish divergence can change and not be any divergence. If this keeps on going, we will lose that divergence. So this was your trade down here. This is where I put that idea out when we were getting this. So we've finally got it. If you're in it, hold on to it. I'm in it, and I'm going to hold on to it. I reckon we can go from here and get that daily set up, you know, that daily 100 fib. It may come up and break this and get up to that 100 fib. So you definitely, it's a bit hard to get on the buy now, but on the H1 you may be getting a, yes, the trade was down here. So you still can look for buys, but they're scalps basically. You should be already in it. It's given us its run. We've got bearish divergence on the H4, and it looks like a fair bit of bearish divergence. It's really got to push up in a big way to lose this divergence. So I dare say we just get an A, B, C, and then on the daily we get that lower low, like we just get a move up to here, and then we get a lower low. So yeah, bit risky to be looking for the buys and the sells at the moment. There is no sell setup and there is no buy setup, so you just got to leave it for a while. Wait for something to trade. Maybe you want to trade that good old mate here left the UK 100 or something. You know, that's got a lot of potential in it, whereas UY is already gone. USDJPY, on the daily, we got the 5 down. We're still within this trend line, still hasn't broken, and this is looking very choppy. So I dare say this is either going to really break out, or it's going to give us another lower low, give us more bearish divergence. We do have, sorry, not bearish divergence, but bullish divergence. We already have the bullish divergence on the daily. There's no cross up, no trend line break, so we still are in that in the downside. Very risky to be looking for the shorts because we have all this bearish, bullish divergence. We got the 5 down on here, and we're making this larger correction. Definitely look for the buy. I'm in the buy on this one as well. UY went, but this one didn't. So I dare say, yeah, if you get a buy set up, I don't think there is really a buy setup. You can put a buy stop just above this top and use this as your stop loss, this low here. If it does trigger you, put your stop on, and because we can get that A, B, C up to the 100 fib, or it's going to do the daily and give us that X, well, the weekly X. So we're looking for at least an A, B, and a C up for the X on the weekly before we get more downside. Yeah, so it goes and breaks that low, and then it will give us, because that'll be Z down on the weekly, and then it will really take off. So whether it goes from here or not, I mean, sometimes you don't get the Z down, but on the weekly, we don't have any bullish divergence. On the daily, we do. So I'd be looking for this larger correction here. So I'd be looking for, it may be choppy, but price should come up to this 38.2. It shouldn't break this trend line. Something's wrong if this trend line gets broken, because then it'll be a larger correction. H4, like I was saying, you know, we've got this correction in here. You see, there's not really a setup to buy. Yeah, there's no real, it's sort of getting a little flag in here, a bit risky. I'd be putting, even if you take a little bit of a smaller position, put a buy stop on it and use your stop. You know, even if you use it much, it's going to be a larger stop for you, but you know, the potential of the upside is quite huge, especially if it's going to go up to this 38.2. So yeah, look for the buy setups. If it gives you a nice buy setup, I think you nice trade. There's plenty of upside in it. Whether it goes from now or, like I said, whether it goes from now or goes and breaks the low, the daily low, we'll soon see. But this is a larger correction, like UY. So we should at least get an A, B, C. You know, got to watch out for this trend line. This is looking nice, but we got an A, B, C down. This C wave down. I think this is like an A, B, like A, B, C, A, B. Oh, what do we got? A, B, C, A, B, C. Then we got this A, B, C down here. So I think it should go and break this top. It's very choppy here though. I was expecting more as an impulse. I think I got in around here somewhere. It might have even been down here on this little correction down here. But yeah, I am in the buy. It's not up by much at all. Not like UY. UCAD. On the daily, we got that bullish divergence, like I've been saying for ages. We've got the C down. We're nearly getting this cross, and we've got to bounce off this trend line. So we may get another one down. It may not be ready to go. It may be like an A. I wish I could use my pen, but yeah, sort of B here, and then a C up for more downside. So you will have to be careful. Because we haven't broken this trend line on the daily. If you look, we didn't break it. It's bounced off of it. So you can see that we never got that break of the trend line. So it may give us one more down. I won't be looking for the short on it. We've already got all the divergence. So I'll be looking for the long. Whether it's up here, it gives a nice bull flag, or comes down, breaks the low, and then gives us the impulse and correction to buy. Mainly looking for buys. I mean, you're crazy to look for the sells. I mean, this might be pretty good actually. You may get a nice sell on it, because we do have this pattern in here. We've got this running flat in here. So we've got this A, B, C. If you get a bear flag in here, you could definitely take it, use this as your stop, get a bear flag to go and break that low. You definitely want to be taking half off at this low. If you're getting into the sell, you know, it's not a long-term trade. Just scalp it, scalp the shorts. GY, the daily, this one's taken off, and we've broken this top now. And we got all this bearish divergence. So it's sort of a bit different than GU, but we got an A, B, C. So we've got this trend here. We got the 100 fib up here. So we may go up and break this top as an A, B, but you definitely want to be looking for that short. Wherever this top ends, even if it does break that top, still look for that short, because you know, this can be an A, B, because this is so choppy, B wave, and then we get that C down. On the H4, was still in this wave Z. Last week I had this trend line. We haven't broken it. I was expecting we get a break. Didn't happen. So sort of gave it a flat in here and more upside. We've lost the bearish divergence on this last leg up. So there's really not much sell on it. You can trade the bullish flags because we don't have any bearish divergence on it. So if you want to scalp it, you can, but they're only going to be scalp buys. Like you're getting a flag in here for the sell. You know, you'd want price to come out, break this low, give you a correction, and then go for it, you know, for your sell. There's no sell set up on it, and I think the bigger impulse will be to the downside. When that happens, well, you know, that's anyone's guess. So there's no real setup on it, unfortunately. Well, unless you want to buy that flag, but yeah, it's just a scalp. So gold, we got this. Like I said last week, we didn't break this top, and we got bearish hidden here. So definitely we're getting a bearish setup in here. So if we go down to the H1, that H4, sorry, we got a nice correction in here. We got a nice impulse up. We got this correction happening in here. Definitely want to be looking for the shorts, I think. Like I said last week, you can go and check it out, or the annual outlook. You know, gold's going to be in a large correction for a long time. If we go to the weekly, you know, so it's going to be choppy, but you definitely want to look for the downside. Your target is this 38.2, the second target that I had on TradingView. It still hasn't hit the second target yet. Hit the first one at 23.6 fib, and then hadn't hit the second one, but I expect that to get broken. Like I said last week, expect that one to get broken with the bear hidden. Well, at least this low get broken anyway. So, and if it comes down to that 38.2, well, if you took the short trade on my idea, well, you know, you'll probably hit this target. But it's giving a bear setup. H4, H1. See, this isn't looking too bad. We've got a nice A, B, C up. This looks like a flat in here though, on the lower time frame on the M15 or something. This might be a little A, B, C for another one up to go and break this top again, or this top here, and then fall over. So we're not really getting a bear setup. What we need to see is, you know, at least this low here being broken, get a trend line break, you know, then your correction, or your sell setup, you know. Look for your sell setup. If it gives a little flag in here, you know, might be worth taking the short, but you will have to watch out for this. Like this A, this is sharp A, B, C. Then we get that A, B, C, and then falls over. We don't have any bearish divergence on the H1. On this, between this top here and this top here, we have heaps of divergence. So it can even fall over from here. So if you get that bear set up, that might be a nice one to jump on. WTI, this one giving a nice correction up here, looking very corrective. Still plenty of room up to the 100 fib. We're still within this uptrend. So this one got a lot more potential for upside, I think. It's sort of, we got bearish divergence on the H4, but this is looking very corrective, you know. There's no large impulses in it, so you can look for wait for it to break this low here, and you know, look for your sell setups between against this low here. So if I haven't got my tool, but yeah, if price comes down here and then gives you impulse up flag, as long as it doesn't break that low. If it breaks that low, well, then we're in the downside basically. Then you can start to look for that short. But up here, while it's doing this, it's looking more bullish on the H1. Yeah, see, we do have Do we have bullish divergence there? No, see, we don't have any bullish divergence between like this. So this can be like an A, B, C, A, B, C. Then we get A. It's very choppy. But if you get a buy setup, if you trade this, you could definitely look for the buy setups and, well, even the shorts, because it's in a correction. If you're going to scalp it, you know, you can scalp it both ways. But I think I think this top will get broken when this correction's over. We'll get a break of this top here. There's no setup on it at this stage. You know, we do have heaps of bearish divergence here on H1. You know, we've got heaps of bearish divergence on this. So then we got that breakout, gave this correction, and we're getting another one down. So if you get a little flag in here, you could scalp it and move it to break even. And if it does fall over on you, all good, you know, for that daily correction. You know? Yeah, so you can scalp the short if you get a little flag or something in here, something to sell. You could go and, you know, give the short a go, or if you get that buy set up, comes down, breaks this low, and then gives you bullish this low here, and then comes down, breaks that low, and gives you more bullish divergence. Well, then, you know, start looking for your buys down here instead of this trend line break up here. Bitcoin, I didn't look at this last week. I did look at it last week, but I don't really follow this pair, but so I didn't actually look at it during the weeks, what it did. But on the daily, like I've been saying, it's the same as gold. I think we're going to get this large correction, you know, on the daily, this larger correction before we get that Z up. It's got a lot of time factor, so this is going to be choppy for a long time, like I said. That was from a couple of weeks ago. I was looking for that A, B to go and break that top. It never did. That was quite a few weeks ago now. And we got, at worst, you got this nice setup in here. And so at worst, it would have been break even. So, do we have divergence on this? No, we don't. So there's still no divergence. So we sort of got this like A, B, C up. So we're looking for this C down, at least an A, B, C. So I think you'd be looking for the shorts. If we go down to H1, you may get a short. There's no real setup at this stage, but if you get a bear flag, you could give it a go just for that A, B, C down. You definitely want to be at break even when you're breaking these lows, because you can get that bullish divergence, and this can go on for a long time on the daily. You know, it's going to be a larger correction, so this is going to be choppy, but you can scalp it either way, really. You know, whatever setups you get, like at this stage, you want to be looking for that short for the A, B, C, and then start looking for the long if you wanted to scalp it long again. You know, SPX daily. So SPX, I'll put that idea out. It's fell over, and it's I'll put that idea out on Trading View. Oh, oops. So we got bearish divergence. We're still within this trend line, so we're still within the uptrend. We haven't broken it yet, but we're starting to get this. I put it out when we started to get this trend line break. I said, if you look at my analysis, the trade idea, I said, wait for a strong H4 close on here. This is where I put that. I was waiting, put that idea out on this candle here. This was sharp here, so more than likely we may get a running flat here. Get an A, B, C in here, and then look for that sell. it should be a really good sell. I'm in the sell on this one. It's yeah, it should be really nice, I think, because this can really fall over too. So yeah, on the higher time frames, it can give us a larger correction like I've been showing. The DAX daily. Okay, so last week I was looking for that long. No, I was saying we got that wedge, yeah, and it's broken out. This is another pair that I don't follow, like Bitcoin. I've never traded this pair, but we got that A, B, C. We got that bearish divergence. I was saying look for the trend line break, bear flag, and get into the sell. So if you're in the sell, good job. If you watch this pair and trade it. So now we got a new trend line here. It's very choppy. It's not really falling over. Like the S&P, S&P fell over and then it gave us that A up. That's why I'm looking for that flat. This one is very similar. If you go down to H1, you'll see it a bit better. So on H4 though, we don't have any bullish divergence down here. I should have shown you that. So we don't have any bullish divergence. So you really only want to be, why this trend line here hold? You just want to be looking for sells while this trend line's holding. If we get a breakout of this trend line and gives you a buy setup, well then you can buy it. But you definitely want to be looking for the sells at this stage, I think. Sort of get a nice structure here. You know. So we get this A, B, C. So even on H1, we don't have any bullish divergence. So you definitely can look for this. And we've got a nice A, B, C in here. You took this one here. There's a nice flag in here. You can hold on to it, but I think that we might get that A, B, C, and then more downside to go and break the low. Give us that bullish divergence. Then you can look for that long. You know, if you want to look for the long to go and break the top. So that's about it this week. I hope you enjoyed the analysis. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it. Comment. Again, sorry about deleting that comment. It was by accident. But yeah, enjoy your week, trading week next week, and